Starting live video, we are on.
Hey everybody, I'm Veronica Clark. I'm really excited that you're joining us today. We're going to be doing a live stream video and practicing yoga. It's going to keep it really simple and basic so that if you choose to download this, you'll be able to use this as a template and practice yoga at home. Doesn't matter what your space is like. So we're going to be navigating different spaces, backyards, inside, and so forth to show you can do the same. Okay, so follow along with us. Drop into your body and just enjoy. Be present. Be fully present. See you guys in just a moment as we get started. All right, everybody. So just take a deep inhale breath. And just bringing your hands to your heart for a moment, just feeling your feet are connected to the ground. Just dropping any type of restrictions in the body, any type of blocks or anything, just letting it all go. Releasing it out through the breath. This next exhale, just open up your mouth and let out an audible and take in more breath, just filling up your body, filling up your lungs. Hold the breath a little bit longer. See if you can just take in one more that little sip. Hold. Exhale it out. Start to open your eyes and make your way down onto the mat into a child's pose. Feel that the hands are touching the top of the mat. You're reaching and reaching. Allow your hips to draw all the way back towards your heels. Feel the spine lengthening a little bit more. And keep using breath even as you're allowing your body to settle in. Taking a full breath. Exhale it out. Keep the breath out for a moment. And then begin inhaling again. Our breath is so important to our practice. Take another breath. Fill it up. Fill up your body. Let your belly start to expand down towards the ground. And then exhale it out, AJ. Pull the navel back towards the spine. Take in one more breath. Let this breath be so filling to your whole body. Exhale it out. It's nice just to warm the body up a little bit more. So as you stretch your hips back towards your heels, reach the hands towards the top of the mat. And then walk your hands over to the right. You're going to keep your left hip pressing back towards your heel, making whatever modifications that your body needs right now. Take another inhale breath and then walk the hands back to the center. And then exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Now our practice is not about getting through the experience, but truly being a part of the moments that you're creating. Inhale breath, hands back to the center. Maybe finding a little bit of unorganized movement here, moving your hips side to side. If it feels good, maybe start to bring your hips all the way into hip circles. You can bring your pubic bone down towards the mat. It's almost like you're bringing your body into a cobra pose and then taking it all the way around. Finding the shape that feels best for your body. Drawing the hips all the way back. Starting to curl the toes, lift the hips up, find downward facing dog. Find downward facing dog. So just try to stay in down dog for a moment, keeping the heels pressing all the way down towards the mat. Even if the feet don't quite touch the mat, just pull them down as much as you can, lengthening the spine. Maybe start shaking your head a little bit, side to side, just letting go of any tension that's in the neck. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. And now let's start to bend into the right knee. Bend the right knee, maybe looking under that left arm. And then inhale, start to straighten the leg, bend into the left knee, looking under the right arm. How does that feel to pedal it out? Start again. Go at your pace. Moving, bending knees, one at a time. Allow sound to come out if that feels natural and true for you. And then on the next inhale breath, lift up both of the heels at the same time. Exhale, bend your knees, come into a bear pose. You're going to press the hips all the way back towards the wall behind you. And then inhale, lift up the hips. Beautiful. Exhale again, lowering those heels down, coming back into down dog. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, bend the knees, bear pose. See if you can bring your knees a little bit closer. You're strengthening the upper body. And then inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, over heels. Exhale audibly, let out the sound, let it out. Bring the gaze to the top of the mat. You can just hop or step the feet forward, one step at a time. These forward folds are so nourishing for our body. So let your feet come apart, about hip width. You're gonna hinge. Just see if you can just bring the hands down to the ground, maybe walking the hands in a semicircle. Bend into the knees slightly. Don't go through the motions. Don't just go through the motions. Really feel what your body needs right now. And then when you're ready, start to grab a hold to opposite elbows. You're going to shift more of the weight into the balls of your feet. See if you can lift up the hips a little bit more. Lean forward. Exhale, breath. Release left hand down. Bend into the left knee and then inhale, reach up with the right hand. You can use a block. If you're following along right now at home, this is perfect. Place your hand on a block or maybe books. Reaching all the way up. Lengthening through the spine. Wrap the arm behind your back. And pulling your shoulder back a little bit more. Try to lower the right hip slightly, lifting up the left. Exhale and release. Let it go. What does it feel like to be empty? What does it feel like to let go? Releasing, right hand down, bending into the right V, and then inhale, lifting up, left arm. Reach up, use the pinky side of the hand, start to extend a little bit more, and then wrap your arm behind your back. So the tendency here is to lift up the left hip a lot. See if you can lower the left hip and lift the right hip a little bit more as you lengthen. Exhale and release. Toe heel your feet together. Take a deep inhale. Maybe reach the arms behind you, grabbing a hold to the calves a little bit. Trying to press the face into the knees. Lengthening the head down towards the tops of the feet. The hips are lifting. You might feel a little bit tight right now, so you're not forcing anything. Just going to allow the opening to happen. Inhale, come up halfway, lift up. Ardha Uttanasana. Hands on the shins, maybe blocks. Lean forward. Weight comes more to the balls of the feet. Exhale again and fold. Belly to thighs. Inhale, rise. Mountain pose. Let the palms touch, looking up, lengthening, firming up the thighs. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, fold, belly to thighs. You're hinging from the hips, belly comes close to the thighs. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Reach up, touch the palms, shift the weight to the heels, press the hips forward, lean back, slight back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, Uttanasana. Feel your breath. Not getting caught up in the mind. Inhale, come up halfway. And then step back, come into high plank. So your hands are flat on the mat. Palms are flat. Protract through the shoulder blades. Activating the feet, firming up the thighs. You can always lower your knees anytime you need to. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, bend the elbows coming close to the rib cage, gaze is down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Another option would be cobra pose. Exhale, down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Be here. Inhale, breath, high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Feel the emptiness here. Feel that the heels are touching the ground, that the palms are touching. Take a deep inhale breath, lift up right leg, bring it up high. You can bend your knees, stack up your hips, and let's find some movement. Finding some movement, moving in both directions. Keeping the arms strong. Keeping the breath connected with the movement. Stretch the leg all the way up, and then step the foot forward, come into a low lunge. So it's really beautiful here, just moving, maybe straightening the front leg, forehead can come to knee. If you're watching at home, being mindful of your body, being careful to just love on yourself right now and not just force your body into submission. Allowing the time for your body to warm up. Take another inhale breath. You're going to start to come into a lunge. Start to anchor the left heel down for warrior one. Sink down just a little bit more, trying to bend into the right knee, and then inhale, reach the arms up. So both of your hip points are facing forward. If this is difficult for you to do, then bump up that back heel and just come into a crescent lunge. Bring the palms together, look up at the thumbs as you lengthen the side body. Exhale and release, hands through heart. Bring the hands to the mat and take it through a flow. If you're challenged and it's, maybe today you're not feeling up to taking it through the flows, you can always come right back into downward facing dog. Inhale breath, lift up left leg. And bending your knee, and again, let's find this movement in the hips. Opening hips. Is your breath connected with the movement, or have you forgotten about the breath? Begin to step the foot forward, low lunge. Notice how this side might feel a little bit different than the other side. Perhaps you've had an injury on one side or the other, and you might feel that the body has been compromised in some ways, and we compensate. Just keep breathing, keep feeling. On the next inhale breath, come back into that lunge. So anchoring so that the knee is directly over the ankle. Lower the right heel down, come to the tips of the fingers, and then rise up strong, lifting up out of the waist, lengthening the waistline. You can bring the palms together, maybe bringing the gaze up to the thumbs, connecting with your heart. Exhale and release. Be with the breath. Be in love with the breath. Inhale, right leg up, flex your foot. Step forward, warrior one. Reaching up. Exhale, warrior two. So both of the heels are in the same line. Maybe take a look down at the heels. Make sure that they're lined up. Feel the inner alignment. Maybe even close your eyes. Can you extend out through the fingertips so that the wrist and the shoulders are in the same line? Pulling the belly in, the tailbone draws down. Looking over the middle finger. Breathe. Release. When you're holding the postures, be mindful to not hold your breath. Letting the flow of inhale and exhale be equal. Left leg up, flex the foot. Warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. This is the dance of the breath, the body. Sink it down a little bit more. Can you find a 90-degree angle? Can you distribute the weight into the feet evenly so that the knee is not dumping forward? Sink down even more, getting into the depth, creating a new edge for yourself, and breathe. Exhale, release. There's no perfect way to do it. There's no one right path, not one right way. Your way, your breath. Inhale. Right leg up. Bend your knee. Step forward. Rise up in your power, really rising up and feeling strong. Reaching up for what you cannot see but you know is there. Exhale, warrior two. You're trusting the love. Reach forward, flip the palms, reverse. You're sharing it with others who maybe can't see the light just yet. Inhale, breath, coming back up. Reaching, extending. Exhale, release hands. Flowing with breath. Flowing your consciousness. Inhale, left leg goes up. Bending the knee. Step forward. Are the movements conscious? Can you feel it in your fingertips? Exhale. Warrior 2. Reach forward. Lift the palm. Slide the hand all the way down towards the ankle. Keep the left knee bent. Reaching, opening up the side body. Inhale, come back up. Warrior 2. Exhale and release. Check in with your breath. Check in with your heart. Where do you check out? Where do you go into your habit or your pattern? Take a full inhale breath through the nose. Exhale it all out. Bring the gaze to the top of the mat. Hop or step the feet forward. Every step is bringing you closer to you. Roll up slowly. In toe heel your feet together. Inhale, bringing arms up over the head. Interlacing the fingers, releasing the index, crossing the thumb, squeezing the biceps close to your ears. So lengthen, reach up. Let's just move side to side for a moment, just opening up the body. Your feet are keeping you grounded. This is the sthira, the steadiness and the stability in the body. Inhale, come all the way up, lengthen the body. The face is soft, the muscles around the mouth and the eyes are soft. Take a deep inhale, lift up out of the waist as though coming up and over a beach ball. Upper body goes to the right. Your hips are going to go to the left. The sukha. The sukha is this ease in the upper body, this flow. Finding this balance, sthira, sukha. Bring the upper body down a little bit more, reaching. Keeping the alignment in the body, tucking the chin just a little bit. Face is calm. Breath is moving. Inhale, come back up, lengthen. Reach the fingers all the way up towards the ceiling or the sky. Upper body comes to the left. Your hips are going to press over to the right. Pressing the hips over to the right in this shape while the body is going over to the left is so essential to help open up the intercostal muscles in the rib cage. You want to lift and lengthen a little bit more. See if you can go a little bit deeper. As we stretch these muscles here in between the rib cage, we're allowing our lungs to get stronger. So we can release the toxins from our lungs. Take a deep breath. Inhale, come back up, lift. Exhale, prepare for a back bend. Shift the weight into the heels, pressing the hips forward. You can bring your hands to your lower back. The weight is in the heels, the heart is lifted. Drop the head back, looking back. And then inhale, come back up. Mountain pose. Pull your belly in. Pull the belly in. Exhale and fold. Forward fold. Nourish your nervous system. What else feels true here? You want to come down, maybe come into a squat. This is perfect right now. If it's in your practice to go into a crow pose, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, just be with what you feel. Trusting that the body has the wisdom, that it always has had the wisdom, and that the mind is what sometimes overrides it. Our practice teaches us to come back into our body. Taking an inhale breath, bringing your feet back together again. You're going to bend your knees, scoop up your heels from behind, get a really good grip. Bring your pinkies to touch. Scoop up the heels. Just drop the head. Drop the head. Start to lift the hips up a little bit more. Shift more weight to the balls of the feet. Try to press your face into your shins. Lift up the hips a little bit more. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. This will not be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It is supposed to change you and shift you and open you. Exhale. Take one more inhale now. And then exhale, release it. Hands to the mat. Take it to the flow. You'll find that as you come into your forward folds, this is a way to nourish your nervous system, to release and reduce anxiety. Taking a breath, gaze to the top of the mat, hop the feet forward. Finding some movement here. We're going to go right into 3 sets of awkward pose. Feel if there's any tension in your body and if anything needs to be released and shifted. You're rolling shoulders. Being mindful of not distracting yourself with unnecessary movements, but truly finding movement that nourishes and helps to bring you back into balance. Bring your feet so they're hip width apart. Your belly is pulled all the way in. Draw the tailbone down. Reach the arms out in front of you. Your fingers, your wrists, and your shoulders are in the same line. This is your counterbalance. Exhale, start to find your chair. Sit down. Imagine that your back is like leaning against the wall behind you. This can be a little challenging. You're going to sit down as much as you can. Bring your knees in a little bit more so they're not splaying apart. And then inhale, rise. Use the strength of the legs. Keep the arms out in front of you. Take a deep breath. Inhale, lift the heels. Belly's in, tailbone's down. Exhale, sit down. You're finding the balance. Keep breathing. Get out of your head, drop back into the body. And then inhale, press into the balls of the feet to rise. You're not using momentum, you're using strength. Inhale, lifting up the heels slightly, squeezing the inner thighs together. And then exhale, start to lower all the way down, bringing hips to heels. See if you can lean back just a little bit, lift up your heart. Reach the fingers forward, take a deep breath, and start to rise. Exhale, lower heels. And just bring your hands to your heart. Feel what you feel in your body right now. What are you experiencing? It's so easy for us to bypass whatever sensations. Be with it. The heart's racing. Feel heat in the body. Prepare for Eagle Garudasana, 1 set. Inhale, bring the arms up, reaching and lengthening. Right arm can come under the left. You can also cross the arms over the chest. See if you can press the forearms forward a little bit to open up the rhomboids. Maybe a slight back bend. Inhale back up, and then exhale. Get down as low as you can. So we're going to first come into our first version of Eagle Pose. Sit down as low as you can, lift up the right leg, and wrap it around the left thigh. So you're going to squeeze as tightly as you can to create a tourniquet effect. We're trying to cut the blood flow off from that left leg. Benefits are increased energy, vitality. Lean back a little bit, sit down a little bit lower, try to get into the hips, and then exhale for the next modification. Elbows to knees, gaze down. Release the right leg when you're ready, if you're ready. Or stay in the first version of Eagle. Exhale, crown of the head to the earth if you'd like, for toppling tree. Inhale, rise. Arms up. When the fingers and the arms are lifted, this is the inhale breath. And then exhale breath, hold. Inhale, we're going to go right into Utkatasana, chair pose. Come up, halfway lift, and then bend your knees, reach up, turning the pinkies in, thumbs out. Exhale, reach back, palms are flat, breathe. Shifting the weight into the heels. Inhale, reach the arms back, up again. Squeezing the thighs together. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach up. Palms touch. Hold the posture without holding the breath. And then rise. Second side, Eagle. Left arm comes under the right. Remember, you have an option to also just cross the arms over the chest if this is challenging. slight back bend. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, sit down low. The lower that you get, the more you're going to be able to balance, believe it or not. Sit down as low as you can. Lift up the left leg, wrap it around the right thigh. This is also incredible for increasing libido because it's opening up the lower triangle of the body. So sit down a little bit more. Bring more blood flow to the lower extremities. Breathe. And then exhale, fold. Elbows to the knees, gaze down. Release the left leg. Trying to keep the ankle so it lines up with the hip. You're doing the best you can, so don't have any judgment of yourself. Just feel the practice in your body. Crown of the head to the earth, toppling tree. Inhale, rise up. Arms up. Exhale, just bring the hands to the heart and pause. Just pause here. Pause with the breath. Relaxing shoulders. Releasing hands. This is a perfect time for a little water break if you need that. We'll just take about 30 seconds at most. Let this be part of your meditation and part of your yoga practice as well. Just finding breath in your body, connecting and staying connected to your heart. If you need a longer pause, take care of yourself. We'll do one balancing here just to open up the hips. Taking an inhale breath, standing up as tall as you can. Pull the shoulders up towards your ears and then down your back. So bringing the palms so they're facing forward. Breathe. Inhale. Start to lift up the right leg. You're going to bring your left hand to your hip. You can stay here. We're going to actually go for a big toe stand. So grabbing a hold to the big toe. You're pressing the big left toe down into the mat. Inhale, stretch the leg out in front of you. You can continue holding onto the knee as an option. Keep lifting the chest, and then exhale, bring the leg out to the side. To balance, releasing the hand out. Keep your heart open. Bring the leg back to the center. Try to lift up the leg a little bit more. Try to keep ankle in line with the hip. Point your toes. We're going to flex. And point, and flex, and point, and flex. Yeah. Yeah, feel that in the quadricep. There's a huge artery going from the quad all the way to the heart. Really good work, guys. Breathe. Breathe. Let's do it on the other side. You can bring the right hand to the hip, bend into your knee, grabbing a hold to the toe. Feel where you are in relation to this side of your body. Begin to extend the leg out in front of you. Bring the leg out to the side. Maybe releasing the hand. Every time your heart wants to close, can you keep it open? Every time you have that fear, worry that creeps up, can you keep the heart open? Bring the leg back to the center. Reach up. Point. Let's do a little bar work. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Feel good. Flex. Release it. Yeah. You know, if we can't laugh a little at ourselves, we're not practicing yoga. Taking ourselves too seriously. No good. No good. Breathe. Let's let out a little sigh. Woo! Shake it out. Let's go for a dancer pose. And I know anytime I'm dancing, I'm happy. Drop into what it's like to be in joy. I know that these are crucial times right now, but this is a time for joy, for connection, for love, connection to ourselves, connection to all that is, being present to it without checking out or bypassing. Bring your hand out to the side, dropping the hand, bend the knee, grab a hold to the top of your foot. Reach up with that left arm, good. Now the pinky side of the left hand, see if you can extend it a little bit more. The fingers, the thumbs are even touching, belly is in. Start to kick your foot into your hand and bring your upper body down. Concentrate. Wherever you are in your practice is excellent. It could be maybe just here. It's wonderful. Be where you are. Inhale. Slowly come back up. Releasing the hands back through the heart. The longer that you hold the posture, the more benefit you're going to receive. Inhale. Left hand out to the side, hooking elbow in close to the rib cage, dropping the hand down, bending the knee, grabbing the top of the foot. Reach the pinky side of the hand all the way up. Start to kick foot into hand, bring upper body down. You're looking over the fingers. Maybe the fingers are in line with the brow, bringing the hip points down a little bit more. You're doing great. Keep concentrating and breathing. Inhale, rise. Start to step to the back of the mat. You're doing incredible. Bring your feet in close together. Preparing for Warrior 3. We'll begin with the arms up over the head. Interlace the fingers, release the index, and cross the thumbs. You're squeezing the biceps close to the ears. Fire forges steel. So you're trying to create this T shape. Take a deep breath. Step the right foot forward. Bring the upper body down. Keep the biceps squeezing close to the ears. We're going to hold this posture 10 seconds. Keep pointing the toes. Keep the long line of energy moving through the body. 6, 5, 4. Lower the left hip just a little bit more. Keep pointing. And inhale, rise. Good job, yogis. Good job. Good job, everyone following along. Take a deep inhale. Cross the opposite thumb. Pull the belly in. And then step the left foot forward. This is a full body workout here. Lifting up the right leg. All of the muscles are contracted in the body. The core is active. The spine is lengthening. The fingers are reaching forward. The toes are pointing back. Stay right there. Keep breathing for 5. Lower the hips down a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, and rise. Let's bring your hands to your heart. Let's come down to the mat to just rest for just a moment. Maybe coming into a rock pose or coming onto the Shavasana if that's in your practice today. Everyone around our planet, we're all taking a long, deep breath right now. And for many of us, it's a very needed, long, deep breath because we haven't given ourselves permission to do that. We're always in this rat race of go, go, go. But this right here, being able to just slow down, to give yourself permission to do that you don't have to be somewhere else. You don't have to do something else. There's nothing to prove to anyone. Right now, it's all about coming back to you, connecting with you in the deepest, deepest, most purposeful, loving way. That's how we connect more to those around us, even those who we may never ever meet. But we're all connected, and this is the thing that we're remembering now. Take another full breath. Exhaling it out. We're going to pump it up a little bit more so you guys get ready for this. This is how life shifts. We slow things down, and then boom, all of a sudden we pick it back up again. Y'all ready for this? Let's do it. Let's do it. Take a deep inhale breath. We're going to meet back in downward facing dog. I want you to go all in for yourself. If there's any kind of energy that you need to transmute because it's been stuck in your body, right now's the time. We're just going to breathe it all out. Move it out. Inhale. Lift up. Right leg. Bring that leg up high. We're going to go for most of these postures. One breath, one movement. Bend your knees, stacking up your hips. Step the foot forward. Rise up. Warrior 1. Reach up. Breathe up. Exhale. Warrior 2. Feel your power. Reach the fingers forward. Flip the palms. Reverse. Exalted warrior. You notice how strong these postures are named? Inhale, breath, come back up. Warrior 2. Exhale, breath, extended side angle. You can bend your elbow, place it on your knee. Maybe bring your hand down to a block or to the knee, hand down, reaching up. Bring bicep over your ear. Extended. Breathe. Exhale, release, hand down. Inhale, bump up that back heel a little bit. You're going to bring more of the weight to the ball of the foot. Begin to lift up right arm, reaching up. Try to bring your belly a little bit closer to your thighs. Activate that left thigh. Wrap the arm behind your back. You're being gentle and loving as you open. Exhale and release. Forearms down to the ground. So bring your head lower than your heart for humble warrior. You keep hearing these words. Warrior, warrior, warrior. The left knee can be down on the mat or the leg active. Exhale, release. Come back into extended side angle. Hand is close to the foot, reaching up. Let's take it for a wrap or go for a full bind. So leaning back a little bit more, lifting up, extending out through the head, the spine is long. Exhale and release. Low lunge, facing the top of your mat. You can bring the hands to the heart. We're going to go for a twist here. So extending through the chest and then twist. Bring the elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Maybe separating the palms. You can bring the hands back together and then begin to release the twist. Hands to the mat. Take it to a flow. Inhale. Lift up, left leg. Bending the knee. Warrior one. How does every posture bring you closer to your true essence? Exhale, warrior two. How do you get closer to all that's around you? Reach the fingers forward, flip the palms, reverse. How do you be of service to others? Inhale, back up, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe. Bring your bicep over your ear, extend, reach. Exhale, release. Finding this revolve shape, reaching up. Exhale, wrap the arm behind your back. Keeping that right thigh active. Exhale, humble warrior. Lowering the head, comes lower than the heart. The forearms are down, you're resting, you're resting. Sweet rest. Exhale. Release. Deep breath coming back into extended side angle, reaching up. Take it for a wrap, go for a full bind. Exhale and release. Find a low lunge facing the front of the mat. Start to twist. You're going to lean forward a little bit, then twist, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Can you bring your belly close to your thigh to really wring the organs out? Maybe separate the palms. And then bringing the hands back together. Releasing the twist. Finding a flow. Inhale. Exhale all of the breath out. This next inhale, lift up right leg, flex the foot. Pinky side of the foot is down towards the mat. The thigh is towards the mat. Step forward, warrior two. Are you reaching? Are you reaching without forcing? Inhale to straighten the front leg. Turn the toes, inhales out. Your belly is in. Exhale, start to lengthen the spine. Lean forward a little. Exhale, fold. Grab the sides of your feet. Pull the head down towards the ground. So see, if your head's not quite touching the ground, then separate your feet a little bit more. If your head's already touching the ground, bring your feet in closer together. This is is going to deepen the stretch in the hamstrings, bring more weight forward. You might even feel that you want to pop right into a headstand, a handstand. One more time. Blood flowing in this inverted posture. Exhale and release. Use the core. Extend out. Bring the arms out. Come all the way up. Exhale. Warrior 2. Release the hand, side plank. Your right hand is going to give you the foundation. So lift the hips up a little bit more. You can modify by lowering the left knee down. The right knee, keep breathing. Lifting up the top leg. And then exhale, bring your hand down to the mat. 5 push-ups. This is a really good time. Keep that workout in, right? I know a lot of gyms are closed, so don't bypass. Take good care of our bodies, our hearts, our minds. Full exhale out. The next inhale, left leg up, flexing the foot. Step the foot forward. Rise up, warrior 2. Where's your focus? Is it outside of you or is it inside? Start to straighten the front leg. Turn the toes in, heels out. Interlacing the fingers, pulling the knuckles all the way down, lifting up the heart. And then exhale, fold. Starting to bring those arms over your head. Such a beautiful time to fall deeply in love with yourself, to remember who you are. Inhale, come up halfway, lift up. Bring the arms out like a T. Extending out, keeping the head, the shoulders, the hips in the same line. Right hand comes down, left arm goes up, reach it up. Try to level off the hips, bring the left hip down, lift up the right. Wrap the arm behind your back as an option. But keep the head lengthened, extending the spine. Exhale, release, arms out. Keep the arms out, keep strengthening the core. Left hand down, right arm goes up high. You can always modify. You're taking care of your body. Wrap the arm behind your back, using a block under your hand or maybe books. And then exhale to release. Use your core, bring the hands to the hips, come up halfway, and then all the way up. Warrior 2. Exhale, release. Now what are you releasing? What do you release on that exhale breath? Coming into side plank, working the obliques, the side, the container, maybe flipping your dog, taking it wild. Keep breathing. We hold the breath oftentimes. Exhale, hands back down. You can find push-ups, hold plank. Do some other variation that feels good and nourishing for your body. We're going to take a pause and come right back down onto the mat, coming into a child's pose. So this is a really good time to focus on your breath. So this inhale breath is like this, expanding, inhaling breath. Slowly exhaling, pulling the navel back to the spine, and it's like this. So you have this open inhale breath and the contraction, this exhale breath. So inhaling and exhaling. You can envision this is what's happening. The belly is expanding with breath. You're pulling the navel all the way back to the spine to exhale. The lungs are opening up, filling with more life and more energy, more life force, and exhaling, connecting you to the unknown, connecting you to the mystery, which is your life. Deep inhale breaths. Start to make your way back up onto downward facing dog. Turning the head a little bit, yeah, pedaling it out. I want you to feel really, really connected to your body. Don't go through the motions. Don't just listen to my voice and not feel what's happening in your body. We're going to slow it down just a little bit so that when you're following here at home, that you can understand how it feels to get into the shape. Take a deep inhale breath, and then lift up the right leg. Bend the knees, tack up your hips. Step forward and find warrior one. This is perfect to use blocks. Maybe books if you don't have a block. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg for triangle pose. So step the back foot in a little bit. Your back foot is angling in at a 45-degree angle. Both heels are lined up. Reach forward and then bring the hand down to the shin, to a block, and if you have the flexibility, to the ground. The arm is reaching up, both of the shoulders are stacked. You're leaning back a little bit more. You can wrap the arm behind your back. The spine stays long, the head is in line with the spine. Inhale, reach up. Bring your bicep over your ear and reach. A good rule of thumb is that your head is in line with that front foot. Exhale and release. Bring your hand down to the ground. Step the back foot in. So your feet are going to be like on railroad tracks. They're not directly in the same line. The inhale breath, maybe left hand to a block. Right arm goes high. Try to level off the hips, lifting up the left hip, lowering the right hip down. Wrap the arm behind you. Lengthen the spine, keep the spine long. Exhale, release, let's fly. Warrior three. Shifting the weight to the right foot, lifting up the left leg, bringing the arms out. Pause. Pause long enough to feel. Bring the hands to the heart. Connect. Bring the fingers down to the ground, standing splits. You can take the right arm and wrap it around the left or the right leg. Lift that leg up a little bit higher. And then exhale and release. Bring your right hand to a block. We're going to get ready for half moon pose. Bring your right hand to the edge of the mat, the corner of the mat, or a block. You're going to reach up. For some of you, you may not even need the block. You don't have to even touch the ground. You're using your core. Stack the left hip on top of the right and flex your foot. You're pressing through the heel. Exhale, lower the left hip. Come back to warrior three. Use your core. You can bring your hands to your heart. Lower left hand down. Inhale, lifting up right arm. So try to lift up that left leg so the ankle is in line with the hip, keeping the leg strong, core strong. And then exhale, take a long step back to release. Exhale your breath. Exhaling tension. You don't need tension, it's not serving you. Letting it all go. Pressure out of the heart, pressure out of the mind. Beautiful breath, Chad. Beautiful breath. And then inhale, lifting up left leg. Bending knee. Warrior one on the inhale breath. Stay connected to your heart. Exhale, warrior two. Trusting the wisdom. Inhale. Straightening the legs, step the back foot in. Trikonasana. This is a sacred geometric shape. Extend the hand, bring the hand down to the shin. Can you lean back a little bit more? Drop that left hip down a little bit so that everything's lined up. Wrap the arm behind you. You're leaning back, you're opening heart. Reach up, bicep over your ear. Breathe through the fingertips. Release the hand down. Step the back foot in. Lift up left arm. You can take a moment to get yourself centered. For those of you who are familiar with the sequence, it's easy to go through the motions. Wrap the arm behind you. Lengthen through the spine. Crown of the head. Exhale, release. Shifting weight into the left foot, find warrior three. This might be more challenging for you than you remember it being. Bring the hands to the heart. Standing splits. We're finding new edges every time if we allow it to happen. If we allow ourselves to grow in this way. Releasing the hand for half moon. So what is the best for you? Play with it. Maybe your hand is on a block. Maybe it's not at all. Maybe the fingertips are just touching the ground. But stack up the right hip. Try to press actively through the heel. Lean the chest back just a little bit more so that your head, your shoulders, your hips are in the same line. Be steady. Lower the right hip down. Use the core. This is full core work. Hands at heart. Right hand down, left arm goes up. Be here. Not somewhere in the future, not in the past. Take a long step back. Find the flow. It's normal to experience a lot of different sensations. Maybe frustration, maybe you feel like you can't get into a pose, you're falling out of balance. Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. You're doing your best that you can, and that's what matters, that you showed up for yourself on the mat. That's what counts. Everything else will fall into place as long as you give it space to do that. The inhale breath, lift up right leg. Step the foot forward. You're going to find this low lunge, so sinking down, lower that left knee down. Maybe bring the hands to the top of the knee. Like what's showing up for you right here in the hips? All of this, all of the feelings, everything. Everything that we can't feel in the heart because it's too much, we stuff it down into the hips. Maybe take a deep breath and reach up and give it away. Like you're giving it away to the universe. You're giving it away to the mystery. And you're opening your heart. Lean back a little bit. Let out some sounds. Ah! Ah! Bring your hands to your heart. All right, guys. Let's find a splits. So different versions of splits. Maybe you feel super open and you can go right into the splits. This can be really edgy. It's uncomfortable. You don't want it. You want to get out of it. Maybe you don't even want to do the splits at all and you go right into pigeon pose. But notice that that's a way to bypass. It's a way to give into our resistance instead of experiencing whatever is there. Take a full breath. Exhale. Start to bend your knee. Gonna come into a pigeon pose. So your left hip point, drop your left hip point down. The top of the left thigh is going to be down. Taking another inhale, bringing your knee to the edge of the mat and walking the hands down. Bringing your forehead down to the ground to surrender. The other option is maybe supine pigeon. So coming onto your back, taking the right knee, breathing here. I'm going to show you this way as well. You can also bring your hand right here to your foot or to your feet. Be where you are. Let the mouth be soft. Maybe you even open up the mouth a little bit and let the tongue hang out. So your teeth aren't pressing together. Your jaw is soft. Resist trying to come out of the posture. I know it can be really uncomfortable. Surrender to it. Allow yourself just to feel whatever shows up here. You guys are doing so good. I'm really, really proud of you. Start to come on up. You know, there's this place right between pleasure and pain. I'm sure we've all experienced it in some ways. And, you know, the longer that you stay in pigeon, it can start to feel really good because you start to open up. And for some of you, it still might feel like you want to grit your teeth and like make sounds, and that's okay too. You're finding a new edge. So find your way back into downward facing dog. You can take it through a flow. Remembering breath, always breath, lots and lots of breath. And then inhale, lifting up left leg. Stepping the foot forward. Bringing the right knee down. What's on this side? You ever bring some curiosity to your practice? If you're not bringing curiosity to it, I invite you to start doing it now. Like, what's on this side? What's showing up here? What am I holding on the right side of the body that needs to be released? And how can the left side of my body support this experience? Interlace the fingers behind you, pull the knuckles all the way back towards your heel, open up the heart, lowering your head, pressing your big left toe down into the mat. Inhale, coming up. Breathing. And let's find that splits again. So we'll demonstrate on this side. Maybe you just bring your hip back to your heel. And it might just look like this. And this is enough. Another option, maybe you can start to bend your elbows and bring forehead towards your knee. How can you use this moment to crack wide open, to split open, so that all of your essence can come out? Your joy, your love. Make your way into pigeon pose. Set your pigeon up, bringing your right hip point down, rolling the top of the right thigh down. You can also use a block, maybe placing that right under your left hip. We're trying to level the hips off. Walking hands away from you. And then melting down onto your mat. How can you melt a little bit more? How can you soften into your experience? Into our collective experience? How can you soften so that it doesn't close you in fear and engulf you in worry? Soften. Soften your face. Soften the muscles in your legs. If you notice that your glute is contracted or you're compensating on one side, just relax. Let your hands be soft. No more holding. Just keep breathing. Take one more breath. Exhale it out. As you come out of pigeon, I'd like you to imagine coming out of pigeon like you don't really want to leave it. Like maybe it's a lover or a great friend who you love spending time with and you don't want to leave it, but you know that it's time to part. And you honor yourself as you come away from the shape. You leave behind whatever you let go of and make your way back into downward facing dog. You pedal it out a little bit, move your leg, find some more energy, some more blood flow in that left side of your body. From downward facing dog, walk your hands back to meet your feet. Toe heel your feet together. Bend your knees. Pull your belly all the way in to support your lower back. Tuck your chin and then just roll up slowly. We'll seal off this part of our practice with tree pose. Take a deep breath in, lengthening, standing up tall. Rooting the left foot down into the ground and then lifting up right foot. Maybe down towards your ankle. There's so many different versions. What's important is that both of the knees are in the same line. Your hip points are facing forward. You can bring your foot maybe to the inside of the thigh, but it's never resting directly on your knee. Perhaps you'll bring your foot towards the hip point. Take an inhale breath, start to reach up, growing your tree, your branches. Maybe sending a prayer out to the planet. That all beings experience freedom, joy, health, wellness, deep rest, and love. The hands back to the heart. Releasing your foot, connecting it to Mother Earth and feeling that you're rooted and grounded. Even if you can't see that or truly feel that in all parts of your body, right now, this moment, you can experience that. Starting to lift up the left leg, bringing it into the same variation as you did on the first side. Finding some more length in the spine, pressing actively through the crown of the head, connecting you to the cosmos. Taking another inhale, and then maybe growing your branches in a different way. Maybe finding flow. A prayer for yourself, for your family, for your finances, for your health, your heart. And then exhale, release. Deep inhale breath, bowing to your practice, your higher self. And then inhale, and just start to come down to the mat. We're going to come right onto our belly to prepare for a cobra pose. So separate your feet to prepare for King Cobra, bringing the hands in close to the chest, elbows in close to the body. Another option is just a Sphinx pose. So you can bring the hands down, elbows down. Take a deep breath, start to lift the chest up. Lifting up the chest. Pressing the heart forward, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Hip points are down. This is a little bit different than upward facing dog. We'll be looking over the right shoulder back towards the ankle. And inhale back to the center. And then looking over left. Back to the center. Exhale, lower down. Press the forehead down into the mat. Bring your legs in close together. Inhale, breath. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Preparing for locust pose. Pull the knuckles back towards the heels. And then inhale, breath. Lift up. See if you can lift up the legs, the belly looking up. And exhale, release. Arms alongside you, forehead pressing into the mat. Inhale, bend the knees. Getting ready for floor bow. Your forehead pressing into the mat is so good. It's helping to stimulate the pituitary gland. Once the pituitary gland is able to secrete and you focus that energy enough, you can begin to get the pineal gland to secrete. Take a deep inhale breath, start to kick your feet into your hands and lift up the chest. The pineal gland is actually what the yogis say is truly the third eye, or what I like to call the first eye, that seat of intuition. Keep kicking up, looking up, chest is lifted, and exhale and release. You can bring your hips all the way back towards your heels. And just breathing, breathing, breathing. This is a transition. How you show up in your transition matters. What you think about in these in-between spaces matters. Taking a deep breath. Starting to walk your knees towards your wrists. Preparing for reclined hero pose. You're staying present to where you are. Bringing your knees close together, separating your feet, allowing some space. Start to walk your hands back behind you. If your hips feel a little bit tight, Then you can separate your knees. You can also place a block under your hips. Otherwise, bring those knees closer together. Come on down to your elbows. And then walk all the way down. Taking an inhale. You're going to create some space under the back. Arms come over the head. Perhaps the option is just to stay here on the elbows, and that's perfect. But just drop the head back so that the throat is opened. Use the help of the hands and the elbows to start to come back up. Take your time. You're going to turn to the left side, the mat, go lengthwise, and start to make your way into a frog pose. Separating the feet, pressing hips back towards the heels. Your other option, if your knees are a little bit tender, is just to come right into a squat pose. Same benefits. The tailbone draws down. You're going to press the hips back towards the heels. Let the palms be nice and just soft. Don't grip. We notice in these places where we grip. There's information for you. Just keep breathing. If you're at home and you want to do this pose longer, maybe before you go to bed or you feel a lot of tension, this is a good way to be able to release stuff that's stuck. Start to bring your heels together. And slide your knees together. Turn back to the front of the mat. You're going to bring your hips to your heels. Take a deep inhale. Reach the arms up. Crossing just the thumbs. And preparing for half tortoise pose. Tuck the chin in a little bit so that you are activating also the thyroid gland. Try to bring the tip of your nose to touch the ground before the fingers touch. Pull the belly all the way in and keep reaching those fingers forward. The arms are really active. Keep lengthening. Keep pressing hips all the way back towards your heels. Take a full breath. Exhale, lengthen a little bit more. Bring the palms back together, pull the belly in, and start to rise up. You bring your hands back to the heart. Shift the weight to the left hip.
Almost done.
Extend the right leg out, prepare for Janu Sirsasana. So take your right hand, bring it behind you, just go for a little bit of a twist. And then inhale, try to line your chest up with your thigh. You're going to flex your foot so you activate your hamstring. Inhale, reach arms up. And then exhale, start to fold. If you can bend that left elbow, do so. It's going to help you have a little bit more of an inner rotation. You can bend your knee as much as you need to bring your forehead to your knee. But allow the breath to move through your body. Flowing breath through body. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, start to lift up. Exhale, switch the legs out. Noticing the side. Twisting, breathing. Inhale, coming back up again. Belly is pulled in, reaching the arms up. And then exhale, start to fold. Bend your elbow. Bring it in close. Breathe your body. Have that visual. The inhale, filling it up. The exhale. Without this breath, without this, we won't be able to really generate our life force energy. Slowly start to release. I'm going to have you just separate both of the legs. Let's just go for one nice twist here. And this is nice. Reach the hands behind you. Move those glutes out of the way. It's important to keep the feet flexed and you're pressing through your heels. Your toes are back towards your face. And then just walk the hands forward. You can bring your chest down to the ground. If that's not an option, that's okay. Maybe bringing your elbows down and just being where you are. If you need a little more grounding because you're in your head, maybe the palms are down. If you need to receive because Your heart is aching. And you need more peace and you need more love. Palms up. Start to walk the hands back up. Bring your feet together, butterfly pose. Just flap our wings a little bit, get some of the kinks out. So lift and lengthen out of the heart. Remember, this is the sthira, this is the steadiness. Your legs right now, this is creating the base. And the sukha, that sweetness, this upper part of the body is the flow. Tucking chin, bringing forehead towards toes. You can use the elbows to separate the knees a little bit more. Are you breathing? Are you holding? Inhale, start to come back up. Good job, guys. Yeah. You're going to bring those knees in close together. And just roll on down to your mat. Pull your knees into your chest. Just find some movement, maybe rocking up and down or side to side. Just let yourself feel good. You did a really, really good thing for yourself. Whether you've been following along with us or you're going to watch this later, you're doing an amazing job. Choosing to do this, it's not easy. Take a deep breath. Prepare for shoulder stand or Viparita Karani. You can start to lift up the legs for shoulder stand. So Viparita Karani, you can just keep the hips down on the ground as they're demonstrating now. Matt and Amanda are demonstrating. Your feet are flexed, so it's really active. But you can also move now into shoulder stand by lifting up the legs and then bringing your elbows in a little bit closer together to create a strong, solid base. The toes are reaching up towards the ceiling. And then as you're breathing, you're noticing taking the pressure out of the back of the neck and placing it more in the shoulders. If you're ready, you can bring the toes over the head for Halasana plow pose. Be here. Feel the difference. Bending the knees for ear pressure pose. Taking another inhale, breath, lifting the legs back into plow and then into shoulder stand. Begin to lower the hips all the way back down. You can support yourself by sliding the hands towards the hips as the legs come down. Bend the right knee. Let that left leg come down. Interlace the fingers around the right shin. Apply some pressure. This is so good for the digestive system. We take in so much, not only through our mouths, but through our ears and through our eyes and through our hearts. Pull the knee down towards the armpit a little bit more. This is how we learn how to assimilate and release. Let the right hand come down. Pull the knee across the body, stacking up your hips. That right palm is face up. Your head is in the direction of the right hand. If it feels good, you can extend the leg out. But let some other parts of your body surrender and get softer. Whatever part of you is still holding on, let it go. Take another full inhale breath. Coming back up again. Pulling knees back into chest. You're loving yourself right now. You know that? You're loving and nourishing and nurturing yourself. Back to wholeness, back to health, to vitality. Let your right leg come down. Interlace your fingers around that left shin and apply the pressure. We work the ascending colon on the first side. Now this is the descending colon. What needs to be let go of? Where are you emotionally or energetically or even physically constipated? Pulling the knee across the body as you let the left hand come out. Palm is face up. Trusting in your truth. Trusting in your own sweetness. Just let it go. That deep, deep exhale. As you release the twist, know that you're releasing. Be conscious that you are choosing to release. Start to stretch the legs up towards the ceiling if you'd like to. Bring the hands alongside your body. And just lower the legs down slowly with control. So we're preparing for Shavasana now. The Shavasana is this corpse pose. You can let your feet come out, separate a little bit more. You can take up as much space as you want to. You can let the hands just come out. The yogis named the Shavasana, meaning corpse pose. And our practice is this continual reminder of life, death, and rebirth. So in this moment, what can we allow to just fall away? What can we allow just to die off that we don't need? Perhaps it's fears that you won't have enough to sustain you, maybe not enough food or enough money. Choosing to let that die off, that's just something that you've said to yourself. It's a program. Releasing it. Letting it die off so that something can come in its place. Maybe it's that you have a fear of being alone and isolated. That you've already been experiencing a lonely existence. And that you feel separate already. And perhaps you can just let that belief die off. And you can feel into the fullness of how connected we really are. You can tune into your own heart to see what service that you can bring forward to connect us further. Let go. Let go. Let go of the staleness. Let go of the stickiness. Let it go. Let it go. Let the mouth be soft. Let the jaw be soft. Let it all go. When you let go, that's when things can be poured into you. More love, more light. More peace, joy, abundance. Keep the breath moving through your body. Even in this corpse pose, keep the breath moving through your body. This fertile ground for restoration, for rebirth. I want to invite you to stay in your Shavasana as long as you need. You might need the Shavasana more than anything today. That may be your yoga practice. To allow yourself just to experience this yogic death. This going back to nothingness. So that you can come back to the full vitality of life. because we need you. And we love you. Take a deep, deep breath into your body. Exhaling it all out. I want to thank you so much for joining us, for joining yourself in this sacred connection right here online. And until next time, namaste.
Namaste.